It's time. Episode 4 of the sound test. Yeah. That hurt my throat. I should never do that again. Um, Welcome to episode 4 of Chaz's sound test. It's a very special day today. Not really, but for the episode it is, because this episode, for the first time, I'm taking requests. Well, I took requests last week. I'm gonna play all those in addition to the songs I'm playing now, and that's cool. I got way more requests than I was expecting, so I'm gonna play my handful of tracks, and then after that, I'm gonna play all the requests that everybody called in. Well, not called in. This ain't a damn radio show. The ones that were requested via the Facebook and the Twitter, because that's when I usually post requests. I'm gonna start doing that from now on, since this will seem to be pretty popular. So, but let's get on to the show at hand first before we do that. Evolution 2017 was, what, 2 weeks ago now? It was the biggest fighting game tournament of all time. It's the Super Bowl, it's the WrestleMania, it's the NBA Finals of fighting games. It was exciting, but really what was more so exciting, in my opinion, was the announcement for new games as opposed to the actual competition. Like, Geese Howard from Fatal Fury showed up is in Tekken now. That's bonkers, man. Like, that's just insane. And there's a Blaze Blue crossover thing happening. It's like Blaze Blue All Stars. What is that about? Like, it's Blaze Blue, Under Night in Birth, Persona 4, and Ruby characters all in one game. That's absurd in itself too. I'm probably gonna play that as well. And that new Arca game. Yes, new Arca game, new Skullmania. Let's go. I'm so excited about that. That is, yes. In addition to those three things, probably the game I'm excited for the most is probably that Dragon Ball Fighters. I'm pretty sure everyone who listens to this probably is already aware of that. That game looks awesome. It's gonna play awesome, I'm sure. I can't wait for that demo. I'm very disappointed the demo wasn't this month. It got pushed back to September, but I really want to play that game more so than anything else. Brings me to the first set of songs. Dragon Ball songs, just specifically from games, are actually really, really great. Like, I don't think a lot of you guys realize that, but like, Dragon Ball music is actually fantastic in video games. A lot of them were done by Kenji Yamamoto, who formerly worked with Bandai Namco. He doesn't anymore because he got caught for plagiarism, which I didn't realize. I didn't think that was true until I listened to, like, there's a clip on YouTube of, like, a maybe 15-minute video of a bunch of Dragon Ball tracks from not only video games but as well as the anime itself from the 80s and 90s, and a lot of them sound absurdly close to actual songs. And apparently he was warned several times not to continue to plagiarize, but he just kept doing it until, like, I want to say like 2005 or 6, he got let go because of that. But despite that, a lot of his songs are great. I didn't realize that a lot of them sound like actual songs until maybe, I want to say, I think it was like Tenkaichi 2 or 3. There was one song that sounded way too much like a Stradivarius song, which is they're like a French metal band. Like, that song, like that, yeah. But anyway, let's get to the subject. I was very excited, primarily because Piccolo got announced for the game. Piccolo's my boy, usually in every Dragon Ball Z fighting game. So I was excited about that. And I'm going to play 3 songs from 3 separate Dragon Ball games, all composed by Kenji Yamamoto. 2 of the 3 are Piccolo themes. So that's fun. Let's do that first. First, I'm going to play the arranged version of his theme from Super Butoden, which was the first Super Famicom, or Japanese Super Nintendo for those uninitiated. The first Super Famicom Dragon Ball Z game. That's the arranged. There was an arranged soundtrack for it, apparently, and it's really, really good. The next track is Piccolo's theme from Dragon Ball Final Bout, which is probably the most popular Dragon Ball Z PS1 game. Going back to play it now, it's not great at all. That game sucks. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't control great. It's fun, but it's really, really stupid and clunky. And finally, this isn't a Piccolo theme, but it's my favorite song from Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2, the song is called Wild Soul, which is also a Kenji Yamamoto track, as I said several times already. So we're going to do that now. Piccolo's Super Butoden theme, followed by his final bout theme, followed by Wild Soul, which may or may not be a Piccolo theme. I doubt it, but if it was, that'd be hilarious. But let's do that right now. as I was playing those songs, I realized there's a lot of Dragon Ball Z songs I could have played. Like Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22, funny enough, turned 22 years old like either yesterday or the day before. I thought that was pretty funny. That game had a really good soundtrack too. Also, a lot of people didn't like this game, but I really liked the game. Super DBZ on PS2, which is it on the back of the box. They bragged about it being by the makers of Street Fighter, the best 2D Dragon Ball Z game. It didn't play anything like Street Fighter. So they bragged about it being like, it's like Street Fighter. It's a traditional 2D fighting game. Like, not really. It's fun. It's a cool 2D game, but it wasn't arcades in Japan, but it's nothing like a Street Fighter game. But that game had great music too. I thought about playing one of those songs, but maybe another time. I played all of my favorite ones so far. The next subject I wanted to get onto is Western games. Not necessarily games made in America or Europe. What I mean is Wild West games. A lot of people talk about how great, the Red Dead series is. Well, they more so talk about Redemption more so than no one remembers Red Dead Revolver. But a lot of people talk about how great that game is, and it looks fantastic. I've never played it because it's long. I play enough JRPGs, and which also last a very long time. But my two favorite Wild West themes games are both from the 16-bit era, ironically. Wild Guns, which I didn't even play until like maybe 2 years ago. That game's awesome. It's kind of like, it's not really a running gun, but it's kind of like I guess it's the closest thing you'd get to a 16-bit rail shooter, but it's awesome. It's like, it kind of takes place in that weird pseudo-futuristic Wild West world, kind of like Trigun or the old Wild Wild West movie with Will Smith in it. I hate using that as an example, but that's pretty much what I'm comparing it to. That game's fun, and it got re-released recently. The reloaded version released by Natsume, which is on PS4 and Steam. Awesome. I bought it both times. I bought it on PS4 and Steam, and I love that game so much. That game has awesome music. I'm going to play the first track from that, followed by my other favorite Wild West game, which preceded Wild Guns actually, Sunset Riders, which my brothers bought the Super Nintendo version of that game, and then I later played the arcade version when I was a kid. That game's amazing too. It's very weird in Japanese, but it's still fun. It's Wild West Contra if you get down to it. It's basically Contra with a Wild West skin. But I'm gonna play one track from each game. I'm gonna play the first stage from Wild Guns, which is Carson City, composed by Hiroyuki Iwatsuki. I hope I didn't butcher that name. And Sunset Riders, I'm gonna play the third stage, which is the title of the song is called Face with Courage. That's a very Japanese name. And by Motoaki Furukawa. I hope I didn't butcher that name either. But Wild Guns, Sunset Riders, Wild West games. I like them a lot. Well, the Japanese ones anyway, which is ironic. I guess Far East Japanese games. But you get what I'm saying. That's good stuff. I like those games. I think I might play Wild Guns tonight. Love that game. Speaking of games I've been playing, my friend, I'll say his name, Terrell. I visited him for about a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now, and he's a master chef now. He graduated from culinary art school. It has nothing to do with anything. The point I'm getting to is he doesn't play games that often anymore, so he gave me his Xbox 360 and like 20 of his games. That's incredibly gracious of him. He didn't have to do that. He gave me like Lost Odyssey and the Marvel Alliance games. You know, I have them like twice over already. And a bunch of other games I can't think of off the top of my head. However, the first thing I did when he gave me his Xbox 360 is I went on to Amazon and I rebought Tales of Vesperia. Because that's like the main game I play on Xbox 360. So, and I got that in and I've been playing that again and I'm loving that game all over again. That game is probably it's between Vesperia, Xillia, and Abyss. Those are my top 3 Tales games in no particular order. Those are the kings, the 3 kings right there. Like I said, I've been playing Vesperia, so now I want to hear music from it. And this marks like I think the 3rd appearance of Motoi Sakuraba music on this show. But yeah, we're gonna hear more of it. I'm sorry if you don't like it, but it's getting played again. I'm gonna play 2 songs from Tales of Vesperia. A Stirring Taboo, which is that song plays in one of the forest areas and it's like really serene and slow and quiet. I like it a lot. And A Vow of Unity, which is the Hunters Guild area. It's like a city of like mercenaries and like guildsmen. It's really cool, like kind of like it's a beat. You gotta hear it. I'll let you listen to it. But those are the 2 songs I'm going to play from Tales of Vesperia, probably one of my favorite Tales games ever made. Can't beat Tails tracks. Always good. Now, I'm going to get to another game that I actually finished recently. Not all the way through, but the first game. I bought the Crash N.Sane Trilogy when it came out. Like, pre-ordered it because I was excited about it. And it's really good. I can't really say... I don't have anything bad to say about it. It's just... Honestly, the one bad thing I can say about it. This is literally the only downside. Crash 1, control-wise, has not aged great. Because you can't do your slides... You can't do your ducks. You can't crawl. You can't do any of the cool evasive or speed runny stuff. All you can do is go forward and spin. That's it. It's limited. And that makes the game infinitely harder. In addition to that, a lot of the layouts of the stages were changed from the original PlayStation version, making it harder. And finally, Crash... I didn't realize this until replaying the HD versions. I didn't know that Crash 1 was the only game that had the whole stipulation where you can only get the crystals or 100% the game if you beat stages without dying. Beep, 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 beep. That's dumb, because the stages we have to do that in are usually the hardest ones. And they're the longest ones, too. Like Slippery Climb, I hate that stage. That stage can go burn somewhere, anywhere. I hate it. Spent a long time on that stage. But I 102% of the game. It was hard work, but I did it. I even beat the downloadable stage. I forget what it was called. That stage that's free until maybe like sometime next month. And you had to pay $3 to get it. But I paid for it for free. Well, I mean, that means I didn't pay for it. But you know what I mean. I got it. I beat that. That wasn't even hard. What I'm trying to get to is the music in that game is great. I'm not great at transitions. But the music in that game is awesome. Josh, I believe his name is Josh Mancel. Josh Mancel was the composer of the original PlayStation versions, and I believe there was no composer given for the HD versions, but I'm assuming it's just a Vicarious Visions sound team just arranging his original tracks. So I'm going to credit him for the songs because he wrote them originally. I haven't started Crash 2 and 3 yet with the HD versions, but I played the originals and they're still good. Like I played a little bit of Crash 2. Crash 2 is amazing. I think Crash 2 may be my favorite of the three. But I'm gonna play three tracks, one from each of the games in the collection. I'm gonna play the Tawna Bandicoot's bonus stages from the first game. I'm gonna play Cold Hard Crash from Crash 2, which is basically all the ice stages. It's not limited to just one. That's the only one I remember by name. And Toad Village, or just all the medieval style stages from Crash 3 Warped. I really like the middle-aged theme of those whole stages. They're probably my favorites of the whole time traveling shtick that game does. But yeah, Tawna Bandicoot from Crash 1, Cold Hard Cash from Crash 2, Toad Village from Crash 3. Then we're going on to the requests. That's what you came for anyway. Let's play them Crash songs now. don't want to sound like I'm chilling the game, but yo, for real, I didn't talk about it before the songs played, but like, the Crash N.Sane Trilogy is really, really good. Like, not just the music, but like, everything else they did with the game, like the visuals were touched up really well, and like the voice acting changed. Like they changed voice actors, but they're all really solid. Like that whole package is great. Like I highly recommend anyone who's like a fan of Crash back in the day, play this. Or if you're a fan of platformers in general, get the N.Sane Trilogy. It's probably the best platformer to come out in a long time. Like even though despite it being a remake, but it's probably one of the best remakes to come out in a long time. Like, real talk. Like, it's good. It's really good. I sandbagged it before, but, like, yo, it's great. I really like it. Especially the soundtrack is just, whatever Josh Mancel did, I don't know what kind of inspirations he had to, like, write all the music for Crash Bandicoot, but, like, it fits that whole Saturday morning goofy, cartoonish vibe. It works really, really well for those games. Like, he nailed it. He's really good. I'm going to stop shilling the game now, but it's great. I promise. I'm done. Let's get to the main event, I guess, if you want to call it that. It's request time. Last week on the Twitter and Facebook, I said, hey, I'm going to do a request show. And I got way more responses than I was anticipating. So, so I guess that's going to be a normal thing now. I guess every week I'm going to throw out requests on Facebook and Twitter. I'll put the links in the descriptions if you're watching this on Vimeo, or in the chat if you're watching it on Twitch Live. So I had to narrow it down to 5. I did 5 requests. That's pretty much the cap for now. If it gets way more popular, the show gets way bigger, and more people start listening, then I'll probably do more. I might even have a whole request show. But right now, I'm going to just narrow it down to 5 or 6 request tracks. So let's get started with those now. Josh, my buddy Josh, aka NES Master on Twitter. He's on Twitter, I believe. He's definitely on YouTube. Check him out on YouTube. NES Master. His videos are really cool. I like him a lot. He requested a song from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie game. The side-scrolling beat-em-up one. That's an interesting choice. It's the aircraft carrier, which is the second stage. And this also marks the second appearance of a Hiroyuki Iwatsuki song, because he did the Wild Gun song that I played earlier. Didn't know it was the same composer, but the more you know, I guess. We're going to play his song first, and then secondly, we're going to play my buddy Terrell, who gave me the 360. I told you about him earlier in the show as well. He requests Stage 8 from Streets of Rage 1, by Yuzo Koshiro, the man, the myth, the legend. He thinks that, his opinion, he likes Streets of Rage 1 the best out of the 3. I've never heard anyone say that before. Like, usually it's 2. The majority of the people I talk to like 2 the most. You rarely get people who say 3, but even rarer you get people who say 1 is the best one. That's an interesting choice. I'm not going to judge him. That's his opinion. I think 2 is the best one by far, but, whatever. The first 2 request tracks for the night are those 2. Aircraft Carrier from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, the game, SNES version. And followed by Streets of Rage 1, Stage 8 by Yuzo Koshiro. Yeah. Big 4 minute dose of Yuzo Koshiro right there. Can't really go wrong with that ever. Uh, Special shout out to Julian because he's in the chat right now. I'm gonna play his song next. Well, one of the three he recommended. I'm not gonna play all three, but I'm gonna play the one I like the most out of the three that he requested. He's in the chat right now for anyone who's anyone else who's watching live right now. He's here. So the song he requests is from Final Fantasy XIV, specifically the Stormblood expansion. I'm gonna have to help you with this because I've never played the game. I'm probably gonna butcher this name. It's Azim Step, the night version. Yeah, by Masayoshi Soken. It's a really nice piano ballad thing. I'm gonna play that first. I'm gonna play my boy Dante's request. He's one of the people who helped me start the site way back in the day, like back in 2008. I'm gonna play his track that he requested. It's a mainstay between the OGs. Mostly, we love the Bomberman Hero soundtrack. We specifically love Jun Chikuma. God, I'm bad at Japanese names today. Redial from Bomberman Hero. It's a great song. So I'm gonna play Julian's request first, which is Azim Step, the night version from Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. Then Bomberman Hero Redial. Probably one of probably arguably the best song in that game. But yeah, some JRPG stuff and some old school platforming. Yeah. Okay. I saved this last request for last because it's the longest song out of all of them. My buddy Alyssa, you can follow her on Twitter. I won't put her Twitter out there. She probably doesn't want anybody following her. So, but Alyssa, she knows what she is. She requested a song from We Love Katamari, which I didn't even know she was into that series, which is interesting. But it's a really good series. Specifically, the music's amazing. I saw them perform live at MagFest a couple years ago. They were fantastic. Can't really say anything bad about them. This song from We Love Katamari is specifically called Angel's Rain. It is a 7-minute song. I'm just putting that out there right now. It is a 7-minute song. So, use the bathroom, get some snacks, do what you gotta do, but this is a 7-minute song, so hope you're prepared for that. But it's an awesome 7-minute ride, though. So, not putting anything against it. It's a great song. I'm putting it out right now.
Play あなたと Every day with Lane 二人で Every day with Rain 固めて I'm gonna wake up with a smile
I got a confession to make. That was the first time I heard the song in its entirety. That song was fire. Holy crap. That song was good. But anyway, there is food being made downstairs. That means it's time for me to close out the show. It is the go home cue right there. So, thank you for everybody for the requests. I'm glad you liked the show. It's going to keep going. Next week starts the 2 new Let's Plays. I guess I'll spoil them right now. Mark's going to play Resident Evil 4. And I'm going to start playing One Piece Pirate Warriors 3. That's happening next Sunday. Jam. And follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Chazmosis 410. That's CHAZMOSIS 410. Follow the Facebook at facebook.com/OtakuGamerspot, facebook.com/OTAKUGAMERSPOT. The main site, which is the same thing, OTAKUGAMERSPOT.com, OtakuGamerspot.com. In 2 weeks, Otakon will be going on, so I won't be home. So that means that the next episode of the sound test will be tomorrow's the 30th. You get to hear me You get to hear me scrolling through a calendar live. This is exciting. The 6th is the next one. The 13th is Otakon. The 20th will be the next episode of the sound test. That'll be episode 5. So I'm gonna put up the requests probably sometime next week for those episodes, those songs, whatever. That should be cool. I'm going to leave you with one final track. It's not as long as the previous track, even that song was amazing. There's a trio of 3 guys, 3 OC remixers, one of which is a YouTube star now. My boy Digi Valentine, I've interviewed him on the site, maybe on the main site, maybe a year or 2 ago. It was last year. And along with another OC remixer named Dr. Hal C, and a third OC remixer named Sir J, aka the Crazy Robo. The 3 of them make the Zone Runners. They're a Sonic inspired hip hop trio. They're awesome. I wish they would perform somewhere so I could see them live, because that'd be amazing. But this is one of their first tracks from their the title album called Zone Runners. The name of the song is Fire All Weapons. I'm gonna play that to close this out. I'll see you guys next time.
Alright, let's get him. Yo, Hal C, I don't think they heard me yet.
You don't think so?
Nah, man, I don't think they heard me yet. Yo, sound the alarm. No prisoners. Yo, on the battery. We're flying this thing like Dr. Eggman went kamikaze to win. Oh shit, don't blink. Check the night sky. See me and Hal C on the blimp as we fly by. Cruising for real altitude. Take on the battery, man. You're bound to lose. And if we take it down to who's got the sound to boost your biggest, loudest booms, making it sound like little soundless tunes. Get stung like a spike trap. We're cruising through your zone. Yeah, you don't like that. Grab a flame shield, something I've a doubt. Start running, dropping bombs and we're gunning over ice cap. Ha, don't fight back. This is an air raid. Blare sirens, you're riding over digital airwaves. From mystic caves to outer space, to any damn place, you ain't nowhere near braced. Get a load of this, behold my masterpiece. Step all over this, that's when your time will cease. Sleeping satellites, they're awake now. Every zone in range, prepare for the takedown. The finest hour on the doomsday clock. A wide catastrophe, one you cannot stop, one you cannot block. Dodge your hope to beat. It's the Zone Runners, now announce your defeat. Get a load of this, behold my masterpiece. Step all over this, that's when your time will cease. Sleeping satellites, they're awake now. Every zone in range, prepare for the takedown. The finest hour on the doomsday clock. A wide catastrophe, one you cannot stop, one you cannot block. Dodge your hope to beat. It's the Zone Runners, now announce your defeat. Yeah. Act 2 are back with the attitude, leave you black and blue. People wondering what happened to you. They ain't backing you, they're not supporting. Attack you, a cakewalk that I bop while I'm walking. Target in range, target engage, we yelling like MJ in his heyday. You screaming SOS, Mayday. It's payback, I worked overtime for payday. You got something to say? Tell us, then I can put you upside one of these propellers. Have your whole existence shredded like letters before it's thrown to a cyclone just for fine measures. So if you're gonna scream louder please, cause it's the ride of the motherfucking Valkyries. I'm dousing MCs with inferno ammo, fire all weapons, unload the salvo. Get a load of this, behold my masterpiece. Step all over this, that's when your time will cease. Sleeping satellites, they're awake now. Every zone in range, prepare for the takedown. The finest hour on the doomsday clock, a wide catastrophe. One you cannot stop, one you cannot block. Dodge your hope to beat, it's the zone runners, now announce your defeat. Behold my masterpiece, step all over this. That's when your time will cease. Sleeping satellites, they're awake now. Every zone in range, prepare for the takedown. The finest hour on the doomsday clock, a wide catastrophe. One you cannot stop, one you cannot block. Dodge your hope to beat, it's the zone runners, now announce your defeat. Yo, bad like a bad nick, I slam your airships together like a metallic sandwich. Whiplash a spin dash like a tail on scorp, of course. A chomp like a chopper or jaws. Don't make noise man, you best not speak. When you're running by looking like a techno squeak, you're in trouble hot, and I'm the ton of bot. Try to run amok among my fleet, I will leave you buzz a bomb. Bars are like spiky orbs of death, orbing not a caterpillar, any forms of defense. You got a roll of throwing blades like a slicer, breathing fire like a Rex on gone hyper. The decider will leave you as crap meat, run from the soul cause you couldn't stand the damn heat. Face us without a plan B, damn man, we zone runners, Valentine and Halsey, boy. Get a load of this, behold my masterpiece. Step all over this, that's when your time will cease. Sleeping satellites, they're awake now. Every zone in range, prepare for the takedown. The finest hour on the doomsday clock, a wide catastrophe. One you cannot stop, one you cannot block. Dodge your hope to beat, it's the zone runners, now announce your defeat. Yeah, bow down and kiss the ring, all 100 of them man. What now man, where do we go now?
I think this battery is about dead, man. What do you say we crash this thing right into the spring yard? You don't believe us? Watch us. Crash this thing into the springs. Right into the spring yard. Just because you don't give a fuck. Your battery sucks. Our shots are fired, your nose died, and you're out of life. So bye-bye.